One wrong tractor decision can lock a small farm into 7 years of payments with no room to grow. And here's the scary part. Most new farmers don't realize they bought the wrong tractor until 2 years later, when cash flow feels tight. And upgrades are impossible. It's not because they're lazy, it's because they bought for power instead of profit. Today, I'm breaking down every major tractor type farmers should know, not just what they do. But what farm size do they actually fit? What they really cost long term? And most importantly, who should not buy them? Because the best tractor isn't the biggest one, it's the one that stays busy. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which category makes sense for your farm and which one could quietly drain your profits. Let's start small. If you're farming 1 to 10 acres, this is where most people start. Compact and subcompact tractors look perfect. They're small, they're affordable, they're easy to park in a shed. And they handle basic chores without stress. Mowing pasture, moving manure. Light loader work, small livestock tasks, fuel use is low, maintenance is simple. The price feels safe, and that's exactly why so many beginners choose them. But here's the problem no one talks about. They're easy to outgrow. If you plan to, add more acreage, start making hay, do serious tillage, or lift heavy round bales, this tractor starts struggling fast. Now you're pushing it to its limit. Work takes longer, implements don't fit. And suddenly, you're shopping again. Just 3 years later. That cheap tractor, it becomes a stepping stone, not a long-term solution, and stepping stones cost money. Who should not buy compact tractors? Anyone planning to scale beyond hobby level. Farmers who want to produce their own hay. Anyone who already knows expansion is coming. They're perfect for stable, small setups. They're risky for growing farms. So what's the next step up? This is where most beginners make their first expensive mistake. Let's talk about utility tractors. This is the category most people land in. Utility tractors are the do-it-all machines. They usually fit farms between 10 and 50 acres. They can run a loader with confidence, pull rotary cutters, handle small balers, manage food plots, do light tillage. They feel strong, and that's the danger. Because this is where emotion starts to win. Dealers will say, just go a little bigger. You'll grow into it, and that sounds smart, but here's the financial reality. A utility tractor costs a big jump more than a compact. Not just in the purchase price. Fuel increases, maintenance increases, insurance increases, attachment sizes increase. Everything scales up. If you're farming 5 acres with weekend chores, this machine will sit still most of the week. And idle machines don't make money. They collect payments. Now, if you're actively working 20 to 40 acres, different story. A utility tractor becomes the sweet spot, strong enough to grow with you, not oversized for your current workload. Who should not buy a utility tractor? 2-acre homesteads, farmers without consistent weekly tasks, anyone buying just in case. Just in case is one of the most expensive phrases in farming. The right utility tractor can build a farm. The wrong one can lock you into years of pressure. But now, let's talk about a category built for scale. Because once you move into row crops, the math changes completely. Now we're stepping into serious farming. Row crop tractors are built for precision and acreage. They're designed for planting corn, soybeans, cotton, running sprayers, pulling large planters, covering ground fast. They have adjustable wheel spacing, higher horsepower, stronger hydraulics. These machines are built to make money, but only if the acres justify them. Here's the truth. A row crop tractor under 100 acres is usually wasted capital. The purchase price jumps again. Implementations get bigger and more expensive. Repairs cost more. fuel usage climbs, and now your break-even point is much higher. If you're planting 25 acres of mixed crops, this machine won't pay for itself. It'll just look impressive, and impressive doesn't cover loan payments. Now, if you're running 150, 300, 500 acres, different equation. Efficiency matters at that level. Time savings equal real money. Precision reduces input waste. At scale, this tractor earns its keep. Who should not buy a row crop tractor? Livestock-only farms, mixed small acreage setups, beginners with tight cash flow, anyone under 100 acres without rapid expansion plans. Power without acreage is a liability. But now, we're about to enter the category where ego purchases explode, and where one wrong decision can follow you for a decade. Let's talk about four-wheel drive and articulated tractors. Now we're in the big leagues. Four-wheel drive and articulated tractors are massive. They're built for heavy tillage, pulling the widest implements, breaking hard ground, covering hundreds of acres fast. These machines are designed for 500+ acres. They are incredible tools. But they are not flexible tools. Here's the financial reality. The purchase price is huge. Fuel usage is massive. Tire replacement alone can shock you. Storage space becomes a real issue. And here's the silent killer. If this tractor sits still for 6 to 8 months a year, it still costs you money. Payments don't pause. Insurance doesn't pause. Depreciation doesn't pause. Now, if you're running large-scale grain operations, this tractor is an asset. It increases efficiency. It reduces labor hours. It pulls equipment that nothing else can. But if you're under 300 acres, you're probably financing ego. Who should not buy a four-wheel drive or articulated tractor? Farms under 300 acres. Anyone financing heavily without a guaranteed scale. Operations without a year-round workload. Idle horsepower is one of the fastest ways to choke a growing farm. But not all large tractors ride on wheels. Some farmers switch to tracks for a reason. The question is, does that reason apply to you? Track tractors look impressive, and in the right situation, they're incredibly effective. They offer better traction in wet or soft soil, less wheel slip, reduced soil compaction, strong pulling power. For very large farms, especially in heavy clay or wet climates, this can protect yields, and protecting yield protects income. But here's the trade-off. Track systems are expensive, not just to buy, to maintain. Track replacement costs are high, undercarriage wear adds up, repairs aren't cheap, and they don't like road travel. If you move between scattered fields often, that becomes a hassle. So yes, tracks reduce compaction, but compaction only matters at scale. On small farms, the benefit rarely offsets the cost. Who should not buy track tractors? Small and mid-size operations, dry climate farms, anyone without large acreage and heavy tillage needs. Tracks are a precision tool for specific problems. They are not a level up from wheels. Now let's shift gears, because not all tractors are about horsepower. Some are about fitting into tight spaces, and if you buy the wrong one here, you won't even fit between your own rows. Let's talk orchard and vineyard tractors. These tractors look different for a reason. They're narrow, low profile, built to slide between tight rows of trees or vines. If you grow apples, citrus, grapes, almonds, high-density orchards, this machine makes sense. It protects branches. It avoids crop damage. It fits where normal tractors can't. And in specialty crops, crop damage equals lost income. So precision matters. But here's the catch. Orchard and vineyard tractors are highly specialized. That means limited attachment compatibility, lower resale market, not ideal for open field farming. Not built for heavy tillage. if you switch crop types later, you may be stuck with a machine that doesn't fit your new plan. Who should not buy orchard or vineyard tractors? Livestock-only farms, open pasture operations, field crop producers, anyone unsure about staying in specialty crops long-term. Specialization increases efficiency, but it also reduces flexibility. And flexibility matters when you're growing. Now let's move into a category that confuses a lot of beginners. It looks agricultural, but it's built for something very different. Let's talk industrial tractors. Industrial tractors are tough, they're heavy, they're reinforced. They often come with loader and backhoe setups. You'll see them on construction sites, roadwork, landscaping projects. They're built to dig, lift, move earth all day. And that's the key. They're designed for construction, not farming efficiency. Yes, they can handle farm chores. But here's what most beginners miss. They're heavier than agricultural tractors. They're not optimized for field traction. They're not built for pulling large farm implements. And the hydraulics? Great for digging, not always ideal for farming attachments. Now imagine buying one for a pasture-based livestock farm. You'll spend more upfront, burn more fuel, and still struggle with field work. Who should not buy industrial tractors? Pasture-based livestock farms, hay producers, row crop farmers, anyone focused on agricultural productivity. Industrial tractors are excellent tools, but only if your primary income comes from excavation or construction-style work. If not, you're paying for the wrong strengths. And finally, let's talk about the smallest category, because this one fools a lot of new landowners: the garden tractor. Garden tractors are the smallest category in this list. They're built for lawn mowing, light towing, very small property maintenance. They're affordable, easy to store, easy to operate. For 1 to 3 acres of grass, perfect. But here's where people get into trouble. They buy a garden tractor, then decide they want to raise livestock, move round bales, clear land, till soil, expand production, and suddenly the machine can't handle any of it. No serious loader power, no real PTO strength, limited durability. Now you're upgrading fast, which means you bought twice. Who should not buy a garden tractor? Anyone planning commercial farming, livestock owners, anyone wanting serious land development, anyone who says, "I'll upgrade later," because upgrading later usually means losing money now. Garden tractors are tools for property care, not farm growth. Now let's close this out, because knowing the categories isn't enough. You need a decision filter, a way to match machine size to financial reality. Let's bring everything together. Now you've seen every major tractor category, from garden tractors all the way up to articulated giants. And here's what should be clear by now. The danger isn't buying a small tractor. The danger isn't buying a big tractor. The danger is buying the wrong tractor for your stage, because tractors are not just tools, they are financial anchors. So before you buy anything, ask yourself 4 simple questions. How many acres am I actively working today? Not planning, not hoping. Today, be honest. How many acres will I realistically work in 3 to 5 years? Not a dream number, a realistic growth plan. Growth takes time and cash flow. What tasks will this tractor perform weekly? If it only runs twice a month, it's oversized. If it struggles weekly, it's undersized. The right tractor feels busy, not overwhelmed. Can this machine pay for itself? Will it increase efficiency, replace hired labor, expand production, protect yields? If the answer is no, it's not an investment, it's a liability. Here's the simple truth. Idle horsepower is expensive. Underpowered equipment is frustrating, but balanced equipment builds freedom. The best tractor is the one that matches your acreage, matches your workload, matches your cash flow, and still leaves room to grow. Buy for the workload, not for pride, not for social media, not for just in case. Because the right tractor helps you scale, the wrong tractor locks you in place, and small farms don't fail from lack of effort. They fail from bad capital decisions. Make this one carefully. If this breakdown helped you think smarter about your tractor decision, hit like so more farmers see it. Subscribe if you're serious about building a profitable farm, not just an impressive one.